Welcome back to another onlinedrummer.com drum lesson. I'm Nate Brown, and again, this is a series of drum lessons I'm doing every Monday. To follow along with this lesson, you'll need the sheet music titled Nate's Grooves from How You Have Your Fill. Last week's lesson was a lesson titled How You Have Your Fill, and it went over different ways to change maybe a fill that you already play to make it sound differently. In doing that, I showed those fills by playing like 3 drum beats or 3 measures of a drum beat and then did the fill so you could hear how it sounded along with the beat. Turns out I got a great response from that lesson, but also quite a few people asking me, hey Nate, what beats were you playing? Can you show us the notation, how to count it and all that? So this week I'm going to go over those grooves from How You Have Your Fill. I'm going to start out by playing number 1. This groove is based off of that classic rhythm we hear all the time, but it adapts it with some ghost strokes, some different accents, and some double strokes. So starting at measure 1, this is a loose hi-hat, not too loose, just slightly. Now you're going to get used to that technique. It's an accent and then a ghost after it, and I'm going to close the hi-hat so you can hear it better. So I'm going to take it all the way to the 2E and with an accent. 1, a 2E and 1, a 2E and Now 3E and, that snare isn't an accent, it's not a ghost stroke, it's in the middle, it's a regular hit. And 4 has that technique again with an accent and a ghost stroke after it. 4E and Now that's a double stroke, so you're going to let that stick bounce. But it's also a ghost stroke, so make sure that's quiet. The whole first measure. And you'll be happy to know that the second measure is exactly the same as the first. So moving on to the third. The only difference there is you've got the bass drum and the and at the beginning. 1 and And you've got no and on the bass drum at the end, so just 4E and then into the fill. Now for this, you don't have to play the fill that's written. I just used the fill that I played in last week's lesson. You can switch it up with your own fills. You can mix around with How You Have Your fills. It's up to you. Groove number 2, I'll start by playing it for you. Groove number 2 is based off of that same general feel as groove number 1. This time it's a tight hi-hat, so I'll take it slowly. 1E and a 2 and a 3E and a 4E and a. We've got that ghost stroke. The hi-hat's going to close on count 1. You'll see on count 1 of the second measure has a plus above it. Close it. Measure 2, 1E and a 2. Now that has an accent on the hi-hat. You're going to hit that a little harder. Measure 3, 1E. So the hard part of this rhythm would be the ghost strokes most likely. The bass drum pattern is very similar to what you had in the groove number 1. We just got some different hand patterns. Groove number 3, I'm going to start by playing that for you. Groove number 3 is cool because it has some syncopation and some what's called upbeats or offbeats. The snare drum doesn't fall right where you expect it to, like on the 2 and 4. Now the first measure, 1E and the 2, those are double strokes, which creates a 5-stroke roll. I come right back for a ghost stroke on the 2 or 3E and. I'll play from 2 to 3E and. 2 and a 3E and. 4E is just like in number 1, except it was notated with an accent at number 1. Now it's just a regular stroke. 4E, a hit and a ghost stroke. 4E and Measure 1 put together. Measure 2, 1E and a 2. That's open there, but I don't open it too much. more like that. And a, 3, E, and a. Now that one really is open. 4 and. Measure 3 is really cool. A lot of syncopation in there, a lot of ghost strokes, so be careful with that. A 1 E and 2 E. Now that's tough because you've got a ghost stroke with the bass drum. 1 E and a 2 E. I'll do that a little cleaner this time. 1 E and 2 E. And again, it can be hard to coordinate hitting that ghost stroke along with the regular bass stroke, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. I hope you enjoyed the lessons and the notation and get something out of this. Remember, it's not just that you can play groove 1, groove 2, groove 3. Grab some of the concepts from these grooves and make your own grooves, or put them into maybe some grooves that you already play. It's about developing your style and your technique. And if you haven't already, make sure you sign up for our contest. It ends October 21st. We're giving away a lot of good stuff, and so far we have less than 100 entries, which gives you a very good chance of winning. So it ends October 21st. Pearl Rhythm Traveler, drum set, a tablet PC, some other great stuff. Keep drumming.